Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 2 of Uncalled for. We finally have Weston, of course. He was dead last week, but
Returned from the dead.
so are you a ghost technically, or what? What
I
are
classify
you?
myself as a lich. Thank you.
Okay, and then of course you guys know John from last week, and also Dan from last week, and then
I'm in the
now
corner over here.
we have a Tim Cam. If you want to say hi, Tim.
Yes, Tim Cam.
Tim Cam. You can go away now. We
Okay.
don't need you. So every single Monday night, 7 p.m. Central Time, we get together. We're just going to talk about random crap, and I'm not fully sure what we're talking about this week yet, but I think we agreed that since Weston wasn't here, he's going to go first. So Weston, what's your topic?
All right, so my topic was originally meant to be last week. It was on the heels of the release of Mass Effect Legacy Edition. So I wanted to discuss what should and should not go into a remaster of a game. Like when you're bringing it out, they're always going to make a few little tweaks, right? Mm-hmm. What should and should not be tweaked when these games are remastered?
Are you talking control-wise, or are you talking
just in general? And no,
anything,
we are
everything.
not going into remakes. That is something completely different. That's a completely different conversation. We're sticking to remasters. Okay?
Okay. So like when
like-
they did this, like I know Bethesda, like I know Skyrim, right? So when they redid
Mm-hmm.
Skyrim, well, okay, you say,
You
but
can
this,
call that a remaster.
this is my
Which version?
well, we could
One
go
of
with,
the 15?
we could go with the Alexa one, the super special edition. But anyway, so you're like, what mechanics
Alexa
were you
Futroda.
talking about exactly? I want to comprehend this before I get
So,
into
like, for example, for me, I remember when I've played some games, we'd come back in, and then I discover some of those like little glitches were gone that I used to actually make the most of the game. Like that was part of the like charm of the game, and yet they removed some of those. So. I'm not entirely sure. Like, what do you guys think about removing like glitches? What do you think about like changing some like color choices and stuff like that?
It depends on the game and the glitches and the person.
Yeah.
Because what you might see as charm, someone else might see as very, very annoying.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's an interesting question. Let's start at the beginning. The reason why the game got remastered because it was beloved for some reason for a bunch of people. So it was worth putting that extra effort into, visually updated or whatever, decreased load times.
Yep.
Because people want that, it'd make money.
Mm-hmm.
Say you were talking about Mass Effect, right?
Yeah.
They didn't add too much to Mass Effect. They remastered visually a lot. If you remember one, like the character models and stuff was a little rough.
Yep.
It's quite a while ago now, so they updated those to more current character models that, progress throughout the series.
see, even
And
there's me who's never played Mass Effect, so
I'm going to get angry, so just stop now.
You should play it. It's really good.
But,
So I haven't had a chance to play
Yeah.
Legacy yet. So how did they change the graphics in the first one? Because I'm somebody who believes that art is a core part of any game. So if they change too much of it, I feel like they're changing the game itself.
no, it's not changed that much. It's just like kind of your smooth the edges HD remaster kind of thing.
Okay.
But except probably character models, like I was saying. So Shepard looks like the Shepard from 3 instead of whatever it was in the beginning.
was it that bad?
It was.
I mean, one was
For when it came out, no,
Yeah.
it wasn't. but
the
now,
original
yeah.
Mass Effect was in
2006?
Yeah.
Was
something
it?
something early.
Yeah, it was somewhere in that range.
2006?
I was still in
that
high
range?
school. I was still
don't
in
know.
high school.
Yeah, I was in high school too.
So
I think I
if
was
you
a
think-
junior.
If you think of any game at that point compared to games now, there was definitely some.
Sure.
There was room for improvement,
Yes.
but it was
Of course.
for the time. It was really
It was-
well
it was
done.
It was also a starter to the series, so it was the first of that IP, so it's going to be janky.
Mm-hmm.
Always is.
But what I like is they decreased load times, which is wonderful.
That's always good.
That's always a good thing.
No, sitting in the elevator to go to the captain's quarters for like an hour.
Yeah, that was the
Wait.
thing that I saw a lot of people
So-
were always complaining about was the
you-
elevator rides and
Yeah.
how they'd hide the loading screens.
So,
on the ride.
yeah, that was the. you get in the elevator, you are stuck, and it puts on like a broadcast from a news, around the whatever, and that's what you get instead of your typical elevator music before it loads the next level of your ship.
So is that something you want included then, Weston? Is that something you like?
You're saying I'm not going to have time to go and make my snacks and use the restroom every time I get in the elevator?
If you're fast. So, I mean, there's still a little bit of a difference because it has to load the level still, but
yeah.
I find that nice.
Yeah.
I hate loading screens.
Yeah.
I think everyone does, to be fair.
Yeah, I'll take a reduced load time, definitely.
I can't think of anyone that's going to sit there and be like, man, I really wish this game would take longer to load. Like, God dang it, this is too fast.
Right?
I know you haven't played Morrowind, but probably the worst load screens ever.
I played a few hours.
Literally like 15 minutes.
It was
crazy.
It was at least an hour.
Yeah. Yeah. Sad day. But, I don't know. It was remastered because it was loved, so don't change what people loved, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
To an extent. Whether you can get rid of glitches, I don't know. It's a case-by-case basis for me.
Okay, so like for another example of something that I saw that I'm not sure if I would consider this necessarily a remaster or just a port, but when they redid Fable 1 into the Anniversary Edition, like they left some of the stuff that I love, but they also changed a few little things that I was just accustomed to using back when I played the Lost Chapters back in the day. Yeah. It was just like, I don't even know what this game is anymore. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Like I think it was for the better at that point for some of them that they removed.
Yeah.
Like there were a few glitches that back in the day were just game breaking.
Yeah.
But I know they got rid of most of them. There are a couple of them that are still in there. Just going to lay that one out there. There's still a couple of them that are in there, but I did enjoy the fact that they left the glitch with the trading system in there. Yep. Are you familiar with that one?
It's been a while since I've played, but yeah, it was...
Like you buy emeralds from other places, bring them down to Oakvale, then you can sell them en masse for an increased price, and then when you buy them out, they buy them back for an increased price. Yep. So you just keep making money. So you buy high or you sell high and buy low.
Yep.
It's like the exploit in Minecraft with the
I would call that an exploit more than a glitch.
Well, I get that, but I'm saying like some of the other parts were glitches.
Sure, yeah. And those you said were gone for the most part, right?
Some of them. There are some of them that stuck around, and
probably take too much effort to fix that thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's so much effort as it is just some of them are part of what people are accustomed to playing in the game.
Sure.
Yep. So. And also going along with the kind of being accustomed to glitches, that's what a lot of like speedrunners use. Like you'll see people that are doing like speedruns for games, and they're using like the original versions of the game because any remaster they've done, they've patched all that.
See, I think with the whole remaster thing, I guess, just to actually answer the question of your topic, is whatever the last update would be for the games, for Mass Effect, wherever one left off, if they got rid of the glitches, then that's where you have the remaster from. Like, obviously, whatever the final update, whatever the update was, like the last one they delivered, then that's what you remaster. You don't go back, like 3 or 4 updates.
1.
Yeah, so I mean, if we're talking that, if you're gonna redo a game, then redo it from obviously its final state, not the beginning or even in the middle. Like if someone, like let's say the exploit for the in Fable, you were talking with the emeralds, right? If they would have taken that out, even though it was in the final one, that would have made a lot of people mad. Because that's a single player game. So obviously, if you didn't want to use it, you wouldn't have to.
Yeah.
What you do does not affect anyone else. So why would people care if that was, why would they go through the effort to take that out when it doesn't affect anyone but the player? So I say kind of just go with that, and wherever the game was left off is where this remaster, like where you would actually pick up. That's kind of how I see it.
But so you're saying don't fix anything further though?
I mean, if it's game breaking, then sure. But at the same time, it's like, I think people are going to go back and they want to play it to get that experience that they had all those years ago. But just kind of redo the graphics then, and maybe if the controls back then were a little floaty, or let's say, something wasn't perfect, or, if it's on PC, for instance, back then, add controller support if it would be better with a controller. Because, I mean, some games are a lot better with a controller than mouse and keyboard. Not many, but some are.
Some.
And so I'm sitting here
Debatable.
like, what's that?
Debatable.
I'd say most. But anyways, like Skyrim, for instance, I cannot play that with mouse and keyboard. And I don't know that's because like the thousands of hours I played Elder Scrolls on Xbox 360 and then PS3 and, PS4.
Every other console.
Every other console I played it
Just
on.
not the best of the series.
Okay, well, I mean, I still played it with a controller, though, is what I'm
agree
saying.
with
So
him on this.
that's fine. I mean, so let's just have Bethesda remaster Morrowind.
Oh, remake. It'd have to be a remake.
It'd have to be a
Remake.
remake.
Well, okay.
You can't remaster that, but I would die happy. Well, that'll be another topic later.
Dan will be like, okay, you know what? If there's one game that needs to be done before I die, that's actually that could be your topic. Then
Please.
that could
That'd be
one
amazing.
for a future week.
But just on your note, John, with the speedrunning,
Yes.
speedrunners will generally just use the older game.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they'd have to for it to count as the same, world record or whatever. So they would just make new speedrun, like
They would figure out a new way to do it.
records for the new
Methodology.
game method.
Yeah, new game method.
Now here's a question though. What about? So this is Nintendo released the Super Mario 3D All Stars, right? Which had 64, Galaxy, and
Sunshine.
Sunshine. That's it.
Why does
But
everyone hate on Sunshine?
I've never played it. I never.
I
had
actually
a-
think it was one of the best ones of them.
It was
No,
fun.
I actually have the 3D also. That's beside the point. But anyways, so you have that, which Nintendo actually officially released. But then, for instance, now, there's fan-made ports where they got the code, they reverse engineered it or something. I don't know exactly how it's done. You would know more about this on the software side than I would, obviously. But it's a complete remaster or remake of Super Mario 64 with unlocked frame rate, which you can play it on a 1440p 144 hertz display, and they add ray tracing ability as well. So would you think, even though it's not the official one, that would be the one to play versus the official one? And this is kind of a branch off of your topic, but if there's a better looking version, would you go for that versus the official remake?
I don't know if I'm just
A
going to do it
remaster.
based on whether it's better looking as whether or not it's better playing. Now, if it is better playing and better looking,
I mean,
yeah.
you have a
Even though it's
quality
not like the
remaster then.
official,
Official,
not like the
Yeah.
official Nintendo one.
Well, then that's Nintendo's fault for not putting in the extra effort.
'Cause I
these
have
other developers have put in that effort.
Yeah.
If they are willing to put in that effort, let's give them the credit for that and actually play their game.
Because I have the ray trace version on my computer. I haven't tested it yet. I've been too busy to test. I just got it like last week, and I've had too much stuff going on to test it. But I have the ray trace Super Mario 64 on my computer, and sometime I might be playing that. I think that'd be a lot of fun, just to see what ray traced Mario looks like. Something about it sounds enjoyable to me. I don't know why, and it might be super overly done. I haven't played it, but I'm just thinking like the volcano level, right? Can you imagine the ambient light from all the lava with ray tracing turned on? Like that would just be so cool, I think.
In the back of my mind, all I can think of it's still just Mario.
Oh, it's still Mario,
But-
but if it looks better.
Well,
Whatever.
I mean,
I don't know. I think it's quality of life stuff
mhm.
is the big thing. But
So yeah.
real question though, Weston. Some games that are near and dear to our hearts. What about your remaster of the old Final Fantasy games, where they added the triple speed?
Ooh.
Do we have 4 hours?
Oh man.
That's just that question. We're not going any further.
I mean, honestly, I'm torn on that one. Like,
Me too, because
deeply
it's so
torn.
lovely.
It
You don't
is-
have to grind so much, but
at the same
it
time,
changes.
it takes a little bit out. I think for anyone who's new to playing that or wants to play the remaster for the first time, don't use it the first time through, and then after that, go back and realize how amazing it is.
See, now that's another one of those things though too, where that is a single player only game.
Sure.
So
You choose.
so you don't have to use
Yeah.
it if you don't.
Yeah.
So I mean, if it's something like that, I always say just add it, because like, what's it affect you if someone else decides to save time, right? If you want to grind it out and you want to do that, then sure. If you want to just speed through it because you've played the game before, like you said, if it's your first time, don't use it. But I mean, if it's something to save time or just something to make your life easier, go ahead and add it in if it's a single player only game, because you don't have to use it. It's kind of how I see it,
well, at the same time, this is also a different era than what you may be thinking about, because this is an era where people watch other people playing these single-player games. So you may end up having different opinions in there, and may get entire arguments in your chats over this as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
And what are going to be the repercussions of that?
Well, the way I mean, as a streamer, I guess the way I see it too is add it in because
Take it for what it is, I guess.
if I can save let's say we're looking for one specific thing, if I can save 5 hours of a stream and turn that into one because I have that speed thing on and it just helps the stream pace better, then absolutely I'm going to use it. But that I guess as someone
it's a different mindset though.
It is, yeah. My mindset on games is a little bit, I almost at this point think of it more as a, how can I make the stream pace better versus how can I sit down and waste time.
Yeah, that's why you play garbage games.
Okay, sir. Minecraft is fun.
I love Minecraft, but I shouldn't say that. You don't play garbage games mostly. You just don't play the great games.
Coach did say that your opinion doesn't matter, Jordan, because all you do is play Minecraft and Skyrim. So.
Attaboy, Coach.
Yeah.
Attaboy.
Okay.
Accurate.
Attaboy.
Accurate.
Same wavelength there.
Whatever, Coach. Screw you.
So, yeah.
Anything else you want to add on?
No, it's a good conversation.
Good.
Okay.
Good.
Good speaking point there.
Good stuff.
Move on to Dan next, or should we go this way?
I think you should go that way.
You think we should go this? You're going to be last. Okay.
Yeah.
So my topic, I was going to talk about this last week. It was going to be, and I wanted Weston here because for those of you guys that don't know, he is. I mean, do you want to explain kind of all the education and training you have?
He's smart.
I'm actually not, but I have my degree in computer science, and I teach at a college for computer programming and game design and development.
So you are
Graphic design.
Technology.
Web design randomly.
I know, right?
We won't talk about that. Go ahead, Jordan. Sorry.
You are technology smart, though, and that's why I kind of want to get your opinion on this. And also, you deal with people a lot more. The general public, I think, a lot more than I do, or not general public, but you deal with a lot more people than I do. So it seems like back in the day, when cameras first came out, everyone was taking pictures of literally everything, right? Like it was, okay, let's sit down, we're going to get a picture of this. Then they switched to video, and everyone for, I don't know, let's say from, I mean, obviously not the 50s, but back in the 80s and 90s, every single person, it seemed like, had a video recorder, a cassette recorder, whatever you want to call it. And they were making home videos, they were recording their kids, all this stuff. And it seems like now with cell phones, even though we have better video players or video recorders than ever, everyone just takes pictures again. So it's almost like we went from stage 1 to stage 2, and now we're back in stage 1, and I want to know why you think that is.
Okay, well, first off, you have a slightly wrong viewpoint. It's not really stage 1 to stage 2 to stage 1.
Well, that's a very
because
simplistic.
Look at the quality of the images that we're taking out as well.
For sure.
The sheer data that's stored in a single image today is the equivalent of an entire video back in the 80s. So you have to be aware that data storage is also going to play into this. Because where are you storing all this data? The storage spaces aren't free, and they also aren't as permanent either.
No, I mean, you're right, but it's more of not the storage thing, it's more of the concept of it. Just from the general mindset, everyone's like, okay, you know what we're going to do? We're going to take pictures of my kids. We're going to take pictures of this vacation. We're going to do this. And it seems like the only people now that record videos are not like the general people that would before. It seems like it's more of the only people that actually do is, I guess, YouTubers or whatever.
Those who use it in their profession.
Yeah, very few people will record videos of their vacation. Very few people are going to go out of their way and record Christmas morning. They're like, hey, let's just use our phone. We're going to take pictures. Or if they do a video, it's a 15-second on Snapchat story, and that's going to be about it.
If I can jump in a little bit. Sorry,
go
Weston. Ahead. It's not necessarily, like you said, the stages up in technology and the stage back, whatever. It's what's new at the time. Photos were kind of, the radical thing back in the day. And so there was a boom in that, and people were interested.
Yeah.
And then the same thing with, video with camcorders back in the 80s or 90s and all that, whatever you want to call it. And there was a boom, and it kind of went away. That stuff develops technologically and gets more smooth and expensive, and once that initial boom is done, if you don't need to use it, if it takes effort, people push it to the wayside because people only care about what's, easy to get, what's easy to use. Like the average layperson, everyone has a smartphone, TikTok, Instagram, whatever. That's it. That's right
like
there
the
available for
clips.
them,
Yeah.
It doesn't take a lot to perfect that, I guess. So that stuff is still viable. Video is still used. It's still it's more advanced and crazy and awesome than it ever has been. It's just that's not the average person,
Which I just think is odd that, I guess I get it, it's easier to take a picture. But if you have that available, why wouldn't you record more? Just so that way
Laziness.
the memories would be better preserved, I guess.
Laziness.
Not only that, but look at the values the individuals have these days as well. It's been a total shift versus, if you look at what the community valued back in, say,
society's gone downhill.
the 80s,
That's
there's
true.
actually much more family-centric than what it is today. Today is much more of an individual-centric.
That's a good point.
So they wanted to capture the image or the videos of their children growing up because that was what was important to them.
Yeah.
Today, we are very self-centered. I mean, do you know how many selfies go up on a given day?
Way too many.
Exactly. It's a very
People suck.
individual-centered, selfish... I don't really want to say necessarily selfish, but it's very self-centered.
Yeah.
Yep.
Does that make sense? So that's also, I think, playing into this very strongly.
Yep.
We're kind of feeding our own ego in that regard.
Yeah.
See, because when I went on my vacation last month, I obviously did it, for YouTube stuff as well, but I vlogged almost every single day I was gone because not only did I want the memories of it, but then posting it on YouTube and stuff like other people could see and and even if it wasn't for YouTube though, I would have recorded videos. It just wouldn't have been as much of me. I guess if it wasn't going up on YouTube, if it was just for my own personal thing, because I guess I enjoy videos. I enjoy taking them. I enjoy, the editing process of it. And I know that you don't have to edit everything. I know that's not everyone either.
That's
but
another point to why we're kind of going back to photos is it's much easier to upload a photo than it is to take time to sit down and potentially edit a video.
Well, I mean, even back, I don't even know how many hours of old tapes of videos of me growing up I have on my computer because my parents recorded everything. I still have that video camera in the bedroom over here, and it's weird to me that how easy it is just to point and shoot. I could hold this out and start recording Tim right now. I could record this conversation, from my point of view, even though it's being recorded there, and I could just instantly upload it to Twitter or Facebook or Instagram. So I mean, it's not even you have to edit. You could just record and upload. So I think saying editing is the reason why people don't. It kind of is a cop out because back then there was no editing. I mean, not for the home videos.
And that's part of it though, is that with the advent of editing and stuff and the way it's progressed, there could be things in the home videos that you don't want people to see.
That's true. You can control a lot more.
You can control
photos.
what gets out, what gets put out there.
Which is kind of back to what you said, I guess, with being self-centered. You don't want people to see the mess in the corner,
Yeah.
And I'm guilty of that as well. When I go live,
mess over there, guys.
all right, it's actually fairly clean over. But when I go live at night, if there's something behind me, I'll kick it off this way because this part of the room is not on camera. So I'm guilty of that. I'll just I'll slide it across the floor and be like, well, here we go. Or if it's hidden behind my chair, the mess on the floor right there, no one sees that because I'm blocking it. So I'm I don't care.
Yeah.
So I get that part as well.
Yeah.
But even when you're saying you can, videotape Tim with your phone, right?
Yeah.
People do that still. My parents do that all the time. If you looked at their phone, all it is photos and videos of my nephew. So
yeah. So
but they're also the past generation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's an uncommon thing. I think it just sits on their phone.
Yeah.
So do you think it stems from laziness then is what we were going back to?
I don't know. New generation, new society. I think they don't care for that most part, I guess.
Because I know, you're a father, so I mean, I'm sure you have a lot more pictures of your kid than videos, right?
We do,
so, is that just because you didn't want to pull out the phone and record it, or is that because you just wanted the picture? I guess what's the mindset on it? Because I would be recording, in my mind, everything.
Yeah. So for us, it kind of goes back to the whole controlling what people the mess kind of thing. I can take a photo of my son and you don't see the toys that he has everywhere in the room, but when I take that video, you can see everything in the house.
See, and I think, like, I don't know, at least from my point of view, if there was a bunch of toys, I would want that in the video.
Yeah.
Because then, like, when he's, you know, your age, he can go back and see that and be like, oh, wow, look at all those toys I had as a kid. Or, like, see one in the corner and be like, it would, like, unlock a memory, like, holy crap, I remember playing with that, you know? So, like, in my mind, I think just preserving things with video is a lot better.
I can see that point.
I think we don't see a lot of what happens, though. Like, you're kind of talking, like, take something, put it out there, let people see, enjoy it, what you enjoy. But let's kind of be real. The internet's a horrible place.
Oh, it is, yeah.
And I think a lot of people that do that, I think there's still a lot of people that do that, but they don't put it out there because that's dangerous nowadays, and it opens yourself up to criticism.
Just
and all
people.
it is, like social media and everything nowadays, it's look at me, I need to be this facade, this face that's not actually me, but what I'm putting out there, and just to get that like or that comment or whatever.
But going, you know, then branching off of that too, you know, what if you didn't put it out there, but you just kept it, you know, like on a drive, right? Like you just kept it.
I know a lot of people that do that.
Like you just had a solid state drive or something, you know, that you had in the closet, and then like in 20 years you can be like, hey, you know. Now, obviously, that's if solid-state drives, like with SATA or stuff, you know, are still... like if
There'll always be adapters.
I mean, there's going to be adapters and stuff, but that's going to be more complex, but you get where I'm going to go with
this. Just an external hard drive.
USB.
It doesn't matter.
I just saw a van yesterday that had a VCR in it still.
That's incredible.
So, I mean, the technology is always going to be there.
That's how you do it, man.
It might be, you know, 6 adapters to get to it.
But it's still there.
But it's still there.
So, I mean, even if you don't upload it to the internet, you can still have it. Like, that's, I don't know, I guess when I don't like, whenever I do have kids, I plan on videotaping a ton. And if I upload a vlog to YouTube with it or not, you know, that way they still have it. I still have it where I can look back on it like 20, 30 years. Because, like, when I was in Atlanta, Logan and I were talking, you know, it's like, it's going to be fun in 15, 20 years to rewatch these videos of me down there hanging out with him, and we can be like, oh yeah, I remember when we did that. Otherwise,
I met Mr. Bean.
You know, that actually brings up another point as well. Look at also how far technology has advanced and how fast it has advanced.
Yep.
Yeah.
Look at our parents' generation. A lot of them were lucky to have any type of a camera when they were young. So they don't have a lot of these images as memories to remind them of those things.
It's crazy.
Look at the current generation. They've had this their entire lives.
Yeah.
So they don't understand the difference. And maybe they're just taking it for granted as well. And that's why they may not take as many videos. Is they may not think it's necessary.
That very well might be it.
Yeah. I know we you said like old photos and everything. We've been going through a lot of the stuff at my house. It was my dad's, and we found a chest yesterday or the other day of just pictures and pictures and pictures.
Yeah.
It's
Of him or of you?
Of him, actually.
Okay.
Like, which is if like you guys met my dad, he was older, but there were pictures of him as a baby.
Oh wow.
Which is insane to think of.
And if you don't mind me asking, what year was he born?
1941.
Okay, so I mean that's
that's
a long time ago.
See, that's impressive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that was not the norm.
No, it wasn't.
For sure.
Like stuff like that wasn't a normal thing back then.
Yeah,
but
society changes.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
It's very impersonal now. Sentimentality has kind of gone to the wayside, so I think that's just a big thing now.
See, I guess, and like I said,
big issue.
My mindset is I want the memories, in like 30 years. I think it's really cool to have the videos. So when I take a trip, then of course I'm going to videotape it. You know, there's some things, like if I go somewhere by myself, like let's say, to a Timberwolves game, right? Like that's not something I need extreme memories of. So like I'll just snap a few pictures while I'm there. But I'm not going to videotape the whole thing because like that's 3 hours away, I guess. And in my mindset, and this kind of goes off of it too, like, I do that enough to where I don't need the videos. Plus, it's like, great. Like, am I going to care if the Timberwolves won the game I went to, like, on this random day? Like, I take one trip to Atlanta, so I'm going to record that, but I can go to Minneapolis whenever I want. So I guess maybe that plays into it too, is like, a lot of people, this such a common routine, they don't care. And that might be it as well. But, I don't know.
Maybe.
What do you guys think?
Interesting thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
Fun stuff.
So do you want to go next?
I will go next.
All right.
Get my information out because I love information. So I have some interesting notes before I get to my actual topic. But so I started looking up this topic and I dove off on a rabbit trail of how much it costs to make a console.
Okay.
Okay.
So there was a few years ago, they did a hardware teardown of a PlayStation 4, like piece by piece, and went through how much it cost. So for Sony to build a PlayStation 4, it costs them $381 to make.
And was this when it was new, or
This was from what I understand, this is when it was new.
Okay.
It cost them $381 to make. That's $372 in parts and what they considered $9 in labor. If it was if it took an hour to make.
The sweatshops.
Yeah,
I was gonna say those sweatshops, man. They only $9
Yes.
to make one of those. That's
Anyway.
a deal.
That's
So the PlayStation 4 when it came out was sold at $400, which means the console only made $18 per unit sold.
Okay.
Which doesn't seem like a lot, but when you realize the millions and millions of consoles sold, it adds up, and we'll get to that in a minute. It's estimated right now that the PlayStation 5 cost them $452 to make. Now that's before the whole shortage of parts.
Is that
and
well? What one is that though? That's the disc drive version.
I don't know. I'm guessing it's the disc drive version.
Okay, because I mean, if that's the high end, because I mean, obviously the disc drive's going to add cost. So I wanted to make sure
and so the base price for the disc one is what, $500, I think.
Yeah, it's $499 and $399.
Yeah. So $500 to buy, so $452 to make, $500 to buy. They're making more profit on PlayStation 5s.
Okay.
That was just an interesting thing that I found. The actual topic I wanted to cover was the, I guess, issue we have going on right now with scalpers and how that whole process is going. So I started looking into it, and a bunch of the articles I read kind of talked about how the people who are doing the scalping don't think they're doing anything wrong. They liken it to a retailer buying milk from a wholesaler and jacking up the price and selling it back to people. So like in this case, in most cases right now, they're buying a $500 console, selling it for $1,000.
Yeah.
Okay. So it would make sense that it's like that milk analogy if there wasn't one problem. The milk analogy is a voluntary thing. What scalpers are doing, there's one community that I was reading about that they literally are showing their members on their Discord how to set up bots to bypass the security of websites so that they'll know that, hey, this store is going to have 300 systems going on sale at this date at this time.
Yeah.
So they can set up a bot to the second that goes live, buy out the entire stock.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of a problem. On top of that, with them selling them at, $1,000 a pop, I did the math here. So as of April 28th of this year, they have sold, I think it was 8 million PlayStation 5s as of April 28th.
Okay.
They estimate that 10 to 15% of those sold are scalpers.
That's actually a lot lower of a percentage.
It is a lot lower of a percentage. So I went ahead and did a little bit of math for it. So, and correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I went with the kind of the median average, so 12.5%. So 12.5% of 8 million is 1 million. I found it weird that that's how that worked out, but cool, math is fun.
That's one word for it.
if you take so we'll start with Sony. So like I said, we figure Sony makes $48 per unit.
Okay.
Take that times the 8 million units that they sold. That's $384 million in profit.
Yes.
Scalpers will buy a unit for $500, sell it for $1,000. So if as of April 28th they have bought 1 million and sold 1 million, they've made $500 million.
So they've made more than Sony.
They've made more than Sony in reselling consoles than Sony has made in selling consoles.
I actually have a lot of thoughts on this.
There's one other fun thing about that.
Okay.
So they may have made, $500 million, but they say they have not shown proof of this, that they donate most of that extra money to charities.
Nope, they do not. I guarantee you they don't.
That was where I was going with this. Do you consider it okay
No.
that they're doing it because they supposedly give all the money to charity?
Okay, so there's two trains of thought.
Yeah, the charities themselves.
Yeah.
So there's two trains of thought here. One, what they're doing, yes, it's scummy.
Yes.
I agree. But not illegal.
No, it's not illegal.
And the thing about, this whole scalping
Should be
thing is
me.
I tell people the same thing when we talk about, like, the price gouging of graphics cards.
Yeah.
Because, that's a huge one as well. Is if you don't like it, then, tell people to not pay the scalpers. If people just were like, hey, you know what? For a week, we're going to wait off a week. We're not going to buy anything from the scalpers. And they don't make any of that money because they're wanting a quick turnaround.
Yep.
They're wanting 2 or 3 days at most.
Yeah.
So if for a week they stop making any money, then guess what's going to go down? The price they're trying to sell them for until they finally sell for something that's close to retail or at retail.
That was my comment. Like, what moron buys from a scalper?
Exactly. Yeah. So I mean
Like,
that's the
don't
whole
be
thing.
dumb.
The sad part is
Yeah.
a lot of people
I know
do.
people were
Yeah.
dumb.
Yeah. Like I
Just wait, we'll get to my topic.
I can't wait now after hearing that. But anyway, so we have no idea what his is, by the way. He refused to tell us. So anyways, you can
Very
go down
serious.
that path where it's
don't buy it.
just be smart. Don't
Be
do
smart
it.
and don't
Have
do
a
it.
little patience.
Yeah.
But
Like, holy
also,
crap.
do you think as well, because he made the comment, I said it's not illegal, he said it should be.
Well,
At
can
what?
Can I jump in on that for a moment? Because there is a point where it is illegal. And that's when they started hacking into the security systems of these
See,
places
now
for the bots.
that's one thing. We're talking about just strictly like the morals of reselling
That's
right now.
blatantly
Just
criminal,
general-
though, yeah.
Just in reselling in
Just
general.
reselling
Okay.
in general. So like if you didn't use
That
any
is
bots, but
ethically wrong.
it's
but
ethically scummy, but it's not illegal.
That
Now,
would be correct.
I think in the UK, if I remember right, it was the UK, and maybe Tim can look this up too. I think it was the UK where they said something along the lines of like they actually made it illegal to resell for like a specific amount higher than the MSRP. I think, don't quote me on that. Tim's going to do some research, but do you think that would be, and obviously, yes, this is almost getting political, I guess, but would that be too much government overreach to say, hey, you can't do this, even though it's a free market, and you can look at it that way, to say, you know what, we're going to step in and we're going to say you can't. Because, I mean, scalping's been going on forever. It started out with sports tickets, and concert tickets and stuff like that.
Never buy scalp tickets.
Yeah, like everyone was scalping tickets. I remember going to Twins and Vikings games when I was, in elementary school, and there'd be people standing outside.
Yep.
Hey, $100 a ticket, and we're like, we bought our seats in the same section for $20. It's like, so it's not a new thing. So I think the outrage now is a lot more people obviously are looking in masses for this, and plus with the internet, everyone can talk to each other a lot better. So it's a much smaller circle, but I feel like it's not anything new. It shouldn't be illegal because I feel like that'd be too much.
It's a gray area.
It'd be too much of an overreach, I think, to make it illegal.
Yeah.
Well, something else to consider. You're right. Scalping's been going on for a long time. It's been going on for thousands of years. You have to realize merchants would actually take goods, buy them cheap, and then go to remote areas and sell them for a killing.
Yeah.
You have to realize that back then that was normal, but at the same time, they had no other option to get those goods or wait for some other merchant to maybe come by.
Yeah.
Today, we actually have a completely different system. And that's why we're actually noticing the scalping.
Yep.
That's why we actually have the term scalper, more so than just merchant.
Yep.
Back then, they were just merchants. That's all they knew them as.
Yeah.
Now, there were scummy merchants, and there were better merchants.
I was going to say, the only thing I found online was that there was a petition put to the UK government, and that was back in February. That's the most recent.
So
thing
it's
that
not like officially illegal. People in the UK wanted them to make it illegal.
but it did get like over 15,000 signatures.
Okay, because I knew there was something along the lines of them in the UK, but I wasn't entirely sure. So thank you, Tim.
It may also depend on the situation, because if you remember just a year or two ago, when people were scalping hand sanitizer and masks and stuff, there was legislation about it.
Yep.
So I think it depends on the scenario.
Yeah, because I mean, obviously, with the pandemic, if people are like, "Hey, guess what? We're gonna hoard all the hand sanitizer unless you pay us way
Morons.
more." That's one of those things where
Government doesn't necessarily care about consoles. So.
Yeah.
Unless, they cause all that violence in children.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you know? Another topic. Sorry.
Another topic. Some other time.
Some other time.
But yeah, the part that got me about it was that they're literally finding ways to bypass
and
security on websites.
As you guys know, I'm studying for a master's in cybersecurity, so I can tell you that is very illegal what they're doing.
It is.
And so for that, they do need to be caught and punished for that. But here's the thing. The fault also falls on the companies for not having better security. So they should actually be hiring better security analysts to go over their system
and that is
protect
what
them.
A lot of websites are doing. They've changed how they, I guess, essentially update or upload the information to the website, so it's not known right away.
Yeah.
But you're still getting within 10 to 15 minutes. I know I saw I was on Twitter the other day. They were talking about it. Like Walmart had a restock online, and there were people that literally put it in their cart and were on a loading screen for 20 minutes and it just disappeared.
See, now at what point, because I mean realistically, the store is making their money. It's the whole Pokemon card thing, where, because I mean that's being scalped as well. So I mean the store's making their money, Walmart's making their money. So as long as they're making the money they planned on making,
they don't care.
I don't think they care, and I don't really think it's their place to care. I mean, they could resell them for more than MSRP, I guess, if they wanted to. But then they're also kind of part of the problem at that point. But if you buy, 10,000 consoles, which I know that's a way too big a number. That's a high number. But, if you buy 10,000 of X, right, and you plan on selling 10,000 of X for this price, if you don't care. As long as you hit that and you sell them for that price, why would you care what people do with them after they take it?
Yeah. So
when you say like it's their place to hire cybersecurity and improve the security on their site, I mean they're making their money either way. Why would they lose money to make the same amount?
So for that part, you are correct. However, for their actual security, if they do not maintain certain standards, they actually can be punished by the government. Because that could lead to other breaches of actual personal data, etc. Even if that wasn't the original intention.
Somebody who knows how to make a program or a bot to bypass security to buy a console could probably very easily come up with a system to bypass security to gain personal information.
I mean, they could, yeah.
So
I mean, look at all the hacks that have been going on. I know Facebook is a huge one where there's tens of millions of accounts that get their information leaked out because someone hacked into the Facebook security. I mean, it's going to happen no matter what. These people are going to find a way. I mean, they're smart enough to get the bot made the first time. They're smart enough to get it made a second time and a third time and a fourth time.
There comes a point where they can be stopped, though. If you sit down and design your security well enough and keep on it and keep doing ethical hacking and actually do those penetration tests, see where the actual...
Shut up, Jordan.
Shut up. I saw that look on your face and it distracted me and I knew exactly what you were thinking. No. Jordan. No. Anyway. So you can actually reach a point where you can cut them off before they have a chance to hit that while they're developing their bots.
But you have to keep up with it. Like I know they've stated recently that some of these websites have done that, but I can guarantee you if they don't keep up with it in 2-3 months, we're going to be right back where we were. Or still are, technically.
You said, what do they gain and what do you lose? Right?
Yeah.
Like you're saying, money down the line. I mean, there's lawsuits that can happen, but reputation as well. And for not necessarily like mega companies, because they can do whatever they want for the most part. But smaller stuff like that, that matters a lot.
Yeah. I mean, look at the dying horse that is GameStop.
Oh, that thing's been dead for a while.
It has been, but
to the moon.
They're just kicking that.
They are, but they even got just absolutely roasted because they're having the same issues where people are just buying things up before they even before they even hit the open market. Like these bots are just grabbing consoles before they even go live, but they don't care because they made their money.
Yeah,
and
that doesn't sit well with me, but. I don't run them.
It just depends on if they're ethical or not, and most people aren't. So,
I mean, the whole point of companies is to make money, So, like, I guess,
Yeah.
like I said earlier, why would they spend the money to prevent the bots from buying their product? If all they're doing is buying the product, like, they're not hacking into their, their database and taking credit card info. They're just using it to put something in a cart and press buy.
Yeah.
Which, yes,
but it's one or two steps away from that.
Well, it is, but
it's a very dark gray area.
Yeah,
it is a huge gray area, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I get it. I'm mad about it too.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I can be mad about something.
Yeah.
And not have it's the topic we had last week. What's something that isn't illegal but you think should be, like just something that makes you mad that's perfectly fine to do. That's definitely one of them. It's if someone's buying something and they're reselling it, then it's scummy. It's not a good thing.
Or even my last topic, or last week, the fall AAA Studios type thing.
Yeah.
Like, I just want them to care, but I understand it's just a business to make money, but
yeah,
like it's the same basic aspect there.
See, and I was thinking about that too, and I wish I would have brought this up. I think the developers care, the publishers don't.
No, yeah, of course.
I think I wish I would have said that last week.
Those that run things don't care. They only want money.
Yeah,
those who are
I wish I
actually
would have said that.
developing and creating, like I said, art. That's because that's what it is.
Oh, exactly.
They're putting their heart and soul into that.
Yeah.
That is something that they love. That's why they went into the business for the most part. Anyway.
Yeah.
So
for those of you that are watching live, by the way, that segment will go up on I think Thursday. That was the last topic, or second to last. So second to last. They'll go up Wednesday.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay. So if you're wondering if you missed it, that'll be Wednesday.
That's why you see a lot of creative directors and stuff leaving those studios.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But that's off topic.
Yeah, I wish we could just go down this rabbit trail because there's so much more I was thinking about after that episode ended, and I was thinking about, and even right now I'm still thinking about stuff like
it's a very interesting.
I wish that we might have to revisit it here in a few weeks because there's just so many more thoughts I have on that I didn't think about then, but throughout the last week, now that you put that seed in my brain, it's just like sprouting into a whole tree of branches of like this way, like my. So I have plenty of places I want to go with that.
It's something I really care about. So
yeah, I mean we will definitely revisit it because like I said, I have a whole bunch of different things. But back to what you were saying, then I would be curious, and I thought of this as you were reading off the numbers.
Yeah,
I would be really curious to know. You said $450,
or
for the PlayStation 5.
Yeah, something like that.
Realistically, a disc drive would add an extra $10, if even that.
Yeah.
So
we'll be generous and give them 20.
Okay, so 20.
We'll be generous with 20.
Top of the line disc drive.
Exactly.
Yeah, so if that's the case, then they're making money on one and losing money on another, which and maybe it balances out that way too, where it's almost like a wash.
That's the thing when with the making money versus losing money on a console. That's not the only way they get their money.
Well, no, they get it from like the PlayStation Plus service, and the digital games. I think they take, if I remember right,
they get a
Sony
percentage
takes,
of every.
I think it's a 15% from everything.
Companies have to pay them to be able to play on their system. Too.
Yeah, well, I think Sony though takes a 15%. Every purchase you have on the PlayStation Store, 15% goes to Sony, and then the other 85% goes to the developer or the publisher, I guess.
Yeah.
And then after the publisher's done with theirs, then the remainder gets trickled down to the actual developers.
Yeah.
So.
I feel sorry for you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sucks how little you
do the
get.
hard work for the fun and you don't get paid enough.
We appreciate you.
Keep making good content.
Please.
Please.
Please, just don't stop.
So, yeah.
That was pretty much all I had.
That's it for you?
So, yeah, in a nutshell, my thoughts on scalping. The only way you're ever going to beat it, though, just tell people to stop buying from scalpers.
Yep.
Don't be dumb.
Like you were saying earlier.
Let's go.
Yeah,
That's the only way to beat them. Is just stop playing their game.
Yep. It's like
why would you spend $1,000 on a console?
Yeah.
When you can just
Just
wait a little
wait.
while.
Yeah, I actually had a
that.
PS5 in my cart at Best Buy site, and I was sitting there like, should I or should I not? And then after like 30 seconds, I was like, okay, there's no point in even me trying to decide anymore because they're gone. You know, I was like, do I pull the trigger? Do I spend the $500 on the PS5 or do I wait? And then after 30 seconds, I was like, okay, well, it doesn't matter what I choose now because they're gone either way.
Yeah.
You know, so like I'm not getting one.
You don't
now.
want the first iteration anyway.
No.
Like,
And I think if I
cool
remember
stuff comes
right,
later, and the stuff that works better comes later.
Yep.
if I remember, I don't know if you heard about this, Weston. this is completely off. I mean, it's still PlayStation 5, but I saw an article where AMD is actually making a new chip for the PlayStation 5.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be more efficient and actually have a little bit more power. So, wait, get the new version when it comes out. I guess it's kind of like the Switch Pro as well. If it's the same, if it plays the same games, but has more performance, then let's wait. Let's get that.
Mm-hmm.
Plus,
especially
there's really cool custom editions for video games that are. Those are the ones you get.
Those are the ones.
Yep, for sure. So, anything else on this?
There was a slight rabbit trail that I wanted to touch on quick, and it actually kind of ties back to your topic last week of what isn't illegal but should be illegal.
Okay, I like this.
So, earlier this week, I was on the Facebook Marketplace just looking at stuff, and I saw a posting for a 3080 for a graphics card.
Oh, I remember you telling me about this, yeah.
And it said it was $10, and I'm like, that seems wrong. So you click on it, and in the description of the thing, the guy's like, it's not $10. It's actually, it was like over $2,000.
I think you said it was like $2,200.
Yeah, and that goes back to the whole what should be illegal but isn't. Is you're misleading people, and it bothers me so much. I report them every time I see them. It's like you're trying to trick people, or the people that try and sell, like going back to PlayStation 5. $200 for the box on eBay.
That's super
they
scummy
try and trick you into buying the box.
Well, a lot of those too, they're not tricking people into buying the box. I've seen a lot of postings on eBay for graphics cards, and it's like 3080 box, $800, and then in the description it says this is just a box, or this is a printed out picture. If you're a person, do not buy.
That's legal if you put that there.
Yeah.
There's people that don't.
There's
too.
people that don't.
Yeah,
And that's blatantly illegal.
Now that's another topic for another day. Is like
like
the morality of just selling a printed out picture to a bot that you think, like, if they're doing something scummy, not illegal, but you're selling something to them that's worth a cent and it's $800. That's another thing.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother topic for a whole nother
That's
day.
retribution.
And then you also have the people though who don't read carefully enough, and then they still get caught in those traps.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, for sure. I get it. So
that's for another week. So
So anything else we need to add on to this, or we?
I'm good.
All right, we can move on. So Dan, you've been kind of just teasing your topic. You haven't actually told us.
You'll see.
Before Dan starts his, since it is Dan's topic, and based on chat, do you want me to mute Jordan for your section?
Hey.
No, that's okay.
Okay.
We'll allow him to be for a while.
Just a little while though.
Jerks.
No, this one is on a more, I guess, lighthearted note, or if you believe it, this is disturbing. But
either lighthearted or just I love this.
For all you truthers out there, what a dumb word. Did you guys know that birds aren't real? John broke stuff.
You knocked over the Game Boys. I did. Just don't touch it. Don't.
So
I don't want to knock him over again.
I was fascinated by this. I mean, I've been enlightened. My eyes are open, and I'm afraid.
Birds are not real.
They're
government drones.
Mm-hmm. They are
surveillance drones.
They are surveillance drones.
There is a movement, flat earthers move to the side, called Birds Aren't Real, which believes that there was a mass genocide of all birds.
Yep.
12 billion birds, like way back when, and they were replaced by government drones that look like birds.
Yep.
Thanks, Obama.
Way before Obama.
Wait, this is like back in the 50s?
Yes.
60s?
The first thoughts
Has
came
this
up.
theory been that long?
Yes.
Yeah, the first thoughts of this, or the instances they say where this was like thought about and created and put into a plan was in the 50s. And there's a cool website. I'm just going to start. It's like, so it begins. There's a warning on the history of it. It says disturbing content.
I love it.
So
I've seen this
it starts
before.
with like in 1947, the CIA is founded with the whole try to find communists and all that stuff during whatchamacallit. And it kind of that didn't work, so they kind of like devolved or evolved into other things. Where the director in 1953, Alan Dulles, I think is his name, don't quote me on that one, was the first civilian director of the CIA. And he had a, what's to say here? He had a strong passion and hate for birds. On occasions, he called them flying slugs, the scum of the skies, because they used to poop on the cars in the parking lot. But
I love the phrase "scum of the skies."
Right?
That might be one of my. Going back to what Tim said before, like your favorite insult without profanity.
That's a good one.
That's up there.
Scum of
But he was working with Dwight Eisenhower, who's the president at the time, to put cameras in the sky, and it gets ridiculous. But eventually, they, like I said, had this mass genocide of over 12 billion birds between 1959 and 1971, and replaced them with the top surveillance drones of the time and increasing in technology.
Okay.
So birds aren't real anymore, and are not in the U.S. at least.
Yeah.
Because I'm sorry, I'll get into it.
Everywhere else in the world, they are
not
real,
necessarily, but
but not in the U.S.
This guy, the I don't know, the spokesperson for it.
The fact that this group has a spokesperson is beautiful. Oh,
Well, the
gosh.
fact
There's
that-
videos.
Yes.
Okay,
Oh, God.
we'll get into it, but
It's that beautiful, Jordan.
let's go to the Who Are We section. And this starts with, the Birds Aren't Real movement has been active since 1976. Once a preventative cause, our initial goal was to stop the genocide of real birds. Unfortunately, this was unsuccessful, and the government has since replaced every living bird with robotic replicas. Now our movement's prerogative is to make everyone aware of this fact.
How do the birds reproduce if they're robots? Is it just like
They're not, they just create more.
They just
So
make
they put the eggs in the nest and they hatch.
There's no such thing as bird's eggs.
Okay.
they're just
Don't ask me.
No.
Okay.
What about chicken? What
Don't
about
you know
chicken
they're
eggs?
actually all just factories on the inside that just produce more machine birds?
So what about
Oh
chickens?
my lord.
Yeah.
Scrambled
I know,
eggs
it's
are
not
just
like I
like
work at a place
scrambled
that
parts
has
of
chickens
a.
there. But it's crazy.
You ever wonder why the metal content
Have
of
you
food has been
heard-
increasing? Like iron or maybe something like that? Who knows?
Have you heard of the update in the last couple of years?
I have not.
So no, I've looked into this because it was I thought it was the stupidest thing ever when I heard about this. They believe that the only reason that COVID-19 happened was because that there was a glitch with the birds and they had to update the software on the birds.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense.
Also that they recharge when they sit on power lines.
Oh yeah. Oh,
So
it gets
birds
ridiculous.
spread COVID-19.
Basically.
That takes the term bird flu to a whole new level.
True, but like Macino or something. I can't remember his first name. Is like the spokesperson. He's this younger guy. There's like it's weird. Like I can't find out if this is like serious or not.
This has to be satire.
Like
It has to be.
It's so
you would think that, but
it's like so serious that it's got to be satire, but it's supposed to be a serious movement. Like I don't know what to think. It's so ridiculous. Like I think it goes a step further than flat Earth, and that's another topic that's retarded. But
that just stretches it out even more. Yeah.
but I will say they have amazing activism apparel that I really want to buy.
Hold on, they got apparel.
Yes.
It's awesome.
Yes,
did.
it
Alright,
is
hold on.
great.
It's a movement apparel website. They have really cool shirts that I'm gonna buy a couple. I'll probably wear them on the stream sometime. But
Please do.
You guys were wondering, birdsaren'treal.com.
yes, yeah.
Thank you,
And
Tim.
I know I'm giving them like free
Publicity.
advertising. Not that there's a lot of people watching this, but
Hey, this segment's
It's
gonna
hilarious.
blow up, dude.
my favorite is bird drones of North America. It's just the typical head of a different styles of
Can I
bird
see
from like
it?
the bird
Yep.
books. In just a second. And it gives like a blackbird retina scanner, pigeon city surveillance, hummingbirds attack drone, flamingo aquatic sentry, like parrot logistics analyst.
So see, I
like
have.
looking at some of this stuff. It's just ridiculous.
Oh my
That is
god,
definitely investment worthy.
that's freaking fantastic.
Oh.
I'll put a picture of this shirt up on the.
It's quite awesome. I might have to buy it, to be honest.
I would buy it just
I
because
really like
that's
that.
hilarious.
Just to have it, if nothing
So-
else.
Jordan, can we get them to sponsor us?
Everyone in
Give me a
chat,
t-shirt, I'm
let's
down, dude.
tweet at them and we'll see. They'll
Like,
send us all free T-shirts.
The picture of a pigeon on a shirt and it just says, "I am a lie."
See, because I've heard you know, the whole pigeon thing. I didn't know they went with every bird.
Yes, every single.
I have
every
heard
bird.
I've heard just pigeons. I am a lie. That's beautiful.
Yeah, all birds.
Yeah, like, so if the parrots are the linguistic expert, like, is that why they can talk? Is that
I believe so.
they just like the little microphone and they play it back?
Like,
Who was the president that had a parrot that had to get removed from his funeral because it was nonstop swearing? Do you guys remember that?
I don't remember who. I've heard the story. I don't remember who it was.
Tim, do you want to look that up? Because it's gonna bug me. I know the name. I can't. It's one of those things, like, I know.
It's one of the,
in an hour I'll think of the name.
Yeah.
But one of the presidents had a parrot that had to be removed from his funeral because it was swearing too much. I would love to know the story of the...
Andrew Jackson was the president.
Was it. So that would have been before drones, obviously. So
but
was that one a legit, or was that like a very early model that had a glitch?
Probably just a prototype.
It was glitching, and it just kept dropping out, profanities because it was glitching.
You have to have these prototypes, man. You can't get to these final products
Nothing's
without a few.
ever perfect,
Yeah.
But it's just the spokesperson or whatever. He has a couple videos like that. He's like on a small news channel or something where he's from.
Yeah.
And just watch this guy, and this is what gets me. Like, I can't tell if it's real or not. If he's serious, like he's so. Like, he is serious, but it's so funny that I can't be not.
You can't take it seriously.
Yeah, it's got to be satire. I don't know.
See, I feel like
some of the things he says.
Yeah.
Like,
it could be a thing.
Periodically takes trips to the Himalayas or something so he can just smell that drone-free air. Like,
dude, part of
there's no way you travel to the Himalayas in the first part. Like,
it could be playing into the like
it has to be.
There's movements like that are so outlandish that it's.
Check it out, guys. You decide.
Yeah, there's so many movements that are like that people realize that even if they believe it, people realize that people think they're crazy, and they'll play into that just to get more views and attention.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
I understand that. It's just I can't tell which it is.
Yeah, it's hard to tell.
Like, I watched the news segment or whatever, the clip.
Yeah.
And it looks like it's set up, like it has to be, but the news lady's like this has to be satire, right? You're not actually serious, and he like kind of just goes silent and freaks out. He's like, I'm like really offended. and the guy in the background, the other like newscaster's just like looking at the camera and stuff. It's
Why
really
can I just
funny.
imagine some guy, and I don't know what the dude looks like. I just imagine like a super scrawny looking dude, like your stereotypical like high school nerd in all the movies. Just being like, I'm triggered right now. Just like freaking out about that.
I don't know, kind of liberal hipster look.
Yeah.
Skinnier
Of course,
guy, beard.
Yeah.
Youngish.
Yep.
Weston?
Young? Please.
No.
Please.
He said
Weston's
youngish.
a good-looking man. Just saying.
You might need to get those eyes checked.
Maybe you need glasses too.
I'm not the one wearing glasses. Just saying.
No,
But
I
just your thoughts on this.
I've heard of it, and because like I said, I told you guys the update, but I worry about people in this country.
I
have
love
for a
the
very
fact-
long time.
I love the fact that Dan brought this topic up almost as a joke, and John's over here. Oh, I've researched this before.
I have.
John's a closet member of the
He is.
Iowa Brigade. For
He is.
Not even.
He's
They
like
call it the Bird Brigade.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
I couldn't even
That's
tell you
beautiful.
what kinds of birds are in this state, aside from like the generic ones.
their headquarters is called the Coop.
I could not tell you if that is
the
correct
bird
or not.
cage.
The bird cage.
I was about to say that, John. It's probably something stupid like the birdcage.
Inside jokes.
Love to be a part of one someday.
And just another reason why I struggle with humanity.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of reasons why I struggle with
Just
humanity,
another
but
one.
that
It's just part of a pile.
the whole birds aren't real thing, honestly, it does give me the flat Earth vibes. Or even better, have you guys heard of this is another theory that's just so far out there, the donut Earth theory?
Yes.
Have you heard about that?
I've heard, haven't looked into at all.
I haven't looked into it. It's one of those things I've heard where the
I
Earth is
won't.
actually shaped like a donut, which is just as ridiculous, if not more ridiculous than the flat Earth.
Yeah.
But no, there's so many different things. I'm picturing all these different birds now, like in my mind. So our hunters, when they shoot a banded duck or something, is that like Just so the government knows,
It's
hey, we
plant,
got to
it's not
replace
real.
this one.
It's plant. It's not real.
Yeah, that's a plant.
Like when you see a dead bird on the road, it's a plant. It's got to be. Like that's the only explanation.
Yep.
It's just the government, pushing this false story that there's still,
See,
birds
I think the
around.
part I'm most impressed with then is if every single bird, like ducks and geese, like when you go hunting and you get one, and you bring it home and I mean, that's impressive technology. They're
no
able to
such
hide.
thing. No such thing. I don't know. Like I didn't read enough to go into specifics about. Do they believe that seriously every single bird is gone now, or that it's just the vast majority in the country? So there's still something out there. About
Maybe
like,
they're still working on it, and that's why there's a chicken wing shortage.
Like how do you explain like agricultural products though? Like where do eggs come from? Those aren't chicken eggs. Like what are they? Actually reptile eggs or something? Or
Yeah.
what?
I mean, I've been to farms. I've seen. I mean, obviously you've seen it too. With your, like I've seen where all these eggs are coming from, and I'm like, they are definitely
not birds.
They're definitely
synthetic.
I thought real chickens, but apparently
Artificial.
it's all just AI.
Those are just synthetic egg making machines.
So when I go to Walmart and I buy a carton of eggs, like it's scrambled up components, is what you're telling me, or just liquefied robot?
Some synthetic or bioorganic substance it's edible but not real.
Yeah.
So
natural.
what are we eating at Thanksgiving? Is that turkey?
Oh no, Tim. That is not. I don't want to go into the specifics because I don't know them, but
that goes down a whole nother rabbit trail. I want to sit and talk about this for hours, honestly. Like this is something that I feel like we could just go down, so many different trails and just branch off into a million different ways.
Jordan's going to be playing Minecraft later today, and he'll see a chicken and just it'll go off the rails from there.
I have a whole chicken farm, and now I'm really worried.
The government is watching in Minecraft.
Oh no. It's not like everyone can watch me play Minecraft anyways on Twitch, like
True.
Not like that's
true.
Well, I was gonna say 6 nights a week, but my schedule changes. This week,
That's
but
just an escape from reality, Jordan. That's what games are. When you come back to the real world, you notice the drones are around.
Mm-hmm.
See, I would love to just go through like so many more now, and we can be like, hey, like if chickens aren't real, if birds aren't real, then what's this? Like, we should start our own. We should start a movement here right now, because we're all in Iowa, where there's 20 million more pigs than people, where there are no such thing as real pigs, and we should figure out something.
Pigs aren't real.
That is a plant by Russia to figure out how to hack into all of our systems and take over. Like that's what pigs are.
I was going to vote that we just create that all trees are 5G towers.
That's already a thing.
Trees are 5G
Yes.
towers. That's a new one as well.
Aircraft control the weather.
Yep.
Just so you know.
Oh,
That's another
clearly.
That's an easy one.
We could go on for hours about it. The one thing I will say about the flat Earth theory, my favorite thing, there's a documentary on Netflix that discusses it.
Yeah.
And they go to do a test to prove that the Earth is
That's so
flat,
dumb.
where they set up a light and like 2 miles away on a flat thing, they set up a board with a dot that should be right where the light is. If the Earth is flat, it'll go from here to here.
Yeah.
Because light goes in a straight line. And every time they set it up, the light's like up here shooting into the sky, off to the left, off to like
Jeez, I wonder
every
why.
other direction.
Oh,
and they're like, it's just not working, guys. We'll have to come back and try it again in a week.
donut.
Because they
donut theory.
they legitimately believe that it's flat, and there's something going on that's causing, the heat is bending the light.
Because that's totally how that works.
Yeah, that's totally how it works. The heat bends the light. No, it's
Well, I mean, have you been driving down like a road on a hot summer day and you see what looks like water on the road because it's like the
Yes.
illusion? Like, I get that theory. The heat will bend it for sure.
except they're
Heat-
doing these tests at night.
Oh. It's the reflection of the heat off the moon. I get it. It's the moon is a giant. The moon's not real. That's another one we could go off of. It's just a giant plant.
Of cheese.
That's where all the cheese goes. We got rid of the cows for something else. We had to put the cheese somewhere, and that's why Elon's sending up all those rockets so we can go harvest more cheese off the backside of the moon. All the craters are where we've already taken off the cheese. You got the Parmesan section, the cheddar section.
Gouda.
Oh no!
Yes.
This conversation's making me feel really blue.
We have gone off the rails.
That was just too cheesy.
Puns are the lowest form of comedy. Just so you know. Please stop.
Puns are the greatest thing in the world, Daniel.
You make me hurt inside.
Puns are actually a sign of intelligence.
I'm smart.
Sorry,
Except for
we'll try to
Does
monster
not
up some better
lie.
ones.
Jordan, you're the one
That was
exception to
Gouda.
the rule.
That was Gouda.
You're the one exception to the rule.
I'm okay.
The outlier.
See, there's an exception to every rule, including the fact that the exception to every rule, it is its own exception.
So what's the exception to the birds aren't real rule?
There is no exception. Birds aren't real.
But he just said there's always one exception.
No, just for you.
There's that one lingering bird they keep of each type just to replicate it and make sure they get it just right.
Yeah, because now we can't just we can't just scan it.
Just the information and history of what was that bird.
Yeah.
So they can replicate that bird.
So is that what happened? Is it the dodo that went extinct? Is they just accidentally killed all the drones? All the drones broke.
They had no use for it.
They didn't have 3D scanners back then to replicate it, so that's why it's dead now.
Possibly.
Oh, yeah, totally.
So when bird species go extinct, that's why.
The one that actually went extinct was just before the movement.
They
only
killed-
natural extinction.
That's the only one. Okay.
I don't know if it is or not.
God, what? So, what are penguins?
That's a good
What
question.
point do we have of keeping all the drones on?
I mean,
the
we
South
don't
Pole?
really have penguins in the U.S., so
See, but you said
outside of
Most of this is centered in the U.S.
Okay,
this
so-
is just a U.S. government.
so.
thing for the
Basically,
most
like
part.
any ostrich in wherever
And-
are they like in Africa? Some of them, or I don't even. Where are ostriches even from?
Australia.
Is it Australia?
Yep.
A lot of time, yeah.
I mean, everything bad's in
I mean,
Australia, so it
It
makes
could be
sense.
other places.
So
And I noticed in the description they mostly discuss the flight birds, right? What
Yeah.
about the flightless birds?
The kiwi.
Centuries.
like the penguin.
Like the penguin. Like, do they count for that?
I don't know, but like, I mean, it depends on what's in the U.S. But
Like
I was
zoos.
thinking about like the emu and the ostrich.
Yeah, like what
I am not
about
even gonna get
birds
That
in
is like
zoos?
a deadly war weapon right there.
It is.
Right?
Well, I mean, we could go into emus if you really wanted, but I know it's gonna really piss some people off.
Do we have a fan?
You're talking.
Do we have a fan in the chat?
There's someone from Australia that every time I bring up emus gets legitimately mad because Australia lost a whole war to them.
It's true.
They were weak. Emus are strong.
Tim's giving me the most confused look.
Did you not know that's an actual thing, Tim?
When you say lose, like misplaced,
No,
or
like
No, there was a war.
the population of emus in Australia got so out of hand that they tried to kill them off, and the emus won the fight.
Well, how do you just take on such an advanced, crazy army of war machines? Big enough you can ride.
That's what that's the whole story of like when the
Like,
robots go bad.
You
and
had no
they turn
chance.
against you.
Australia, you had no chance. I'm sorry.
Oh no.
Oh no!
Oh, there's a link in chat, Tim, if you want to learn about it. The wiki page for the Great Emu War of Australia.
Emu destruction of Australia.
Yeah.
Can you imagine though? Like what bird? Now this is off topic, but what bird in the U.S. if we tried to go to war against it, like what one would actually have somewhat of a fighting chance?
geese.
Yes.
They did talk about the
Yes.
geese. I
Yes.
can't remember what they were on the shirt.
They're jerks.
They are jerks.
I mean, geese are jerks. I saw.
If you want to go numbers, I'd say pigeons. But
Yeah.
Well, I mean, those are just all drones. They have lasers for eyes.
Those are just sky rats anyway.
Those are city surveillance, as they
Yeah.
say.
Surveillance.
But imagine just hooking one small bomb to each pigeon, like we'd lose.
We'd
God.
be dead.
I mean, if the government really does have full control of all of them, that'd be a scary thought. They could do that. They're just gonna start firing missiles from their beaks. Just open up and out comes a rocket.
Kamikaze pigeons.
I was about to say kamikaze.
Kamikaze pigeons. Oh, it's like a bomb tip. You know, as soon as it hits on the peak, you know, it's just like it hits the building and just explodes. Little nuclear bombs inside of every single pigeon. Can you imagine a flying atomic bomb like that? I like how we went from just normal rockets to atomic bombs, but
I think that's a bit overkill. I think they would destroy everything.
Yeah.
So I think it's a little less than the
one
atomic
pigeon
bomb
per
there.
town. You're set, man.
Well, of course, once they figure out, alternative fuel sources, run them on nuclear power.
They're solar powered for sure.
Yeah.
They have
Yeah.
to be.
Yeah, they
I
got
think
the.
it says that. I
where are the
remember.
solar panels?
Don't ask
In
me.
the eyes.
On the top of the wings. I don't know.
Probably
under the
embedded
feathers.
into the actual wing or feathers themselves. Yeah.
So
Something
every
that allows
so
light
every
through.
feather is connected with a wire to the main.
I don't know.
I don't know. It probably goes into depth with it in there.
I really want to do more research onto this.
The history page is so long.
We come back next
It's
week and
so
Jordan's
long,
just a
so
firm
it'll take you-
believer.
it's a good read.
like we come back next week and Jordan's just like got the shirt, got the hat. Just
Hey,
he's a
don't-
firm believer.
Don't doubt me.
I'm definitely gonna buy some merch. They know what they're doing with the merch.
Yep, it is really good. Like even if it's all just satire, that's actually
Yeah,
smart.
It's money making right there.
See, I do really want to know if they actually believe it, because I wonder if it's one of those things where, because if you get one person, like we could make something up, the four of us right now.
Yeah.
We could make something up and we could know it's fake, but if we portray it right, there's going to be people that believe us and start spreading it. So I wonder if it's one of those where it started out, the guy's like, oh, I mean, obviously this is so fake, but idiots believe anything.
Yep.
And so then now you get like just these actually stupid people. I love the fact that it's only in the U.S., so all birds everywhere else are
Normal
real.
birds.
So I really want to know more about this. You piqued my interest.
Well, you gotta know how to protect yourself, right? Watch out. You gotta keep your freedom.
Yep.
Don't let the government control you.
Is this why the government wants to take away our guns so we don't keep shooting down their drones?
They
Maybe.
lose a lot of money, man.
I mean, each pigeon has to cost quite a bit. If we just shoot them down all the time, can you imagine, like, just get an AR-15, start shooting them off the power lines? Like, that's like, if it's how much money per drone, you're looking at like $1,000 or more. That's a lot of money.
It's gotta be way
At
more.
least.
I mean, it'd have to be.
You gotta think that's like half our military budget or something.
Half
Why
of
the
budget.
why the budget's so
That's why
high?
it's so big.
It's all birds. The entire budget is birds.
I guess
Now, that
They don't actually send all that money to those foreign countries for no reason. It just goes into drones.
See, I definitely feel like if that were the case, though, we'd be using them in war. Like, we would be.
Who says we aren't?
SEAL Team 6 just has like a bird, like a
You think
parrot.
we only use Predator drones? No, we got some natural ones out there too.
Natural.
Natural.
Yeah,
Natural.
I'm thinking now, like every single soldier walking around with a bird on their shoulder like a pirate. They could just like they push like one of the buttons on their from like their medals, or they just push one and the bird just launches straight forward at like Mach speed, just getting ready to go blow something up.
I've now been reminded of another conspiracy theory. We could just go for hours on conspiracy theories.
Oh, we could. I feel like
Let's not, please.
Let's not.
Yeah,
but,
I
oh
feel
my
like we
gosh.
shouldn't, but
We
I
shouldn't.
definitely think at some time, we should bring up a conspiracy theory and just talk about it like once every month or once every other month. Just
whole
just for some,
episode
We'll work
not a
something
whole
in there.
episode. I mean, we only have 4 episodes a month for this show.
We'll
True.
work something in there.
That Dan should just have his own show on this channel where it's
Yes.
nothing but conspiracy theories.
I might go insane.
You're not already?
Very close.
Close.
Close. Not there quite yet. But this
Oh,
will definitely
man.
push me over the edge.
I love that theory though. Like I said, that definitely needs to be revisited.
Yes.
We're running short on time now.
You just need to watch that clip, and that'll it's the one that'll mess you up. You're like,
Is
is
it
it set up
real?
or is it real?
Of the guy on news.
of the spokesperson.
Can you send that to me later so I
Yeah,
can
I'll
watch it?
send it to you.
I definitely need to watch that. If you could text it to me, that'd be great.
Like it's on their website. If you go to the
Birds
history-
Aren't
the
Real dot-
who we are, yeah, it's just .com.
Birds aren't real. I was gonna say
They have,
.gov
they have
at
multiple,
first.
multiple
I almost said .gov. Birds aren't real. .gov. The whole thing is actually confirmed.
Yeah.
It is a government site.
But yeah, they have like multiple different videos of proof or something.
Gotcha.
So
I love
Like
everything
any
about it.
good
Yeah, check it
conspiracy
out,
theory
guys.
does. They have
check
proof.
it out.
Yeah,
It's
Yeah.
it's quite the experience.
I love it.
There you
So,
go.
anything else we need to add on? Because we're starting to run really.
Not really.
I'm good.
Topic
so
wise.
Those good topics.
I love it, dude.
I enjoyed this.
I do have an announcement to make. The 14th, which is 2 weeks from now. Yes.
Yeah, something like that.
14?
Yeah, the 14th,
So
which
3
is
weeks.
3 weeks, will be my last episode.
That is so sad.
It is so
That's a sad day, John.
It
You
is
should
very
not
sad.
do this to us.
See, you only think you're leaving. We're not letting you actually leave.
I know it's
We
unfortunate.
are going to keep you hostage in this really large closet.
We'll let you out on Mondays.
Good luck with that.
Hey, you
It'll
know,
happen.
your wife and your kid can go, I guess, but we're gonna keep you here.
They can zoom in, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you,
I can zoom in.
Actually, can we just keep James?
I mean,
just a little 2-year-old James filling in the seat for John instead. So John is leaving us, and it is the saddest thing. And
you might still see me around on other projects, but
that's
whenever
true.
we come up with stuff. But
That's true, yeah, because I definitely plan on having more shows on this channel.
yeah,
Which is why the name of the channel is different than the name of this podcast, is because I want other stuff on there. So we might have to just drive down there and kidnap you, though, for a weekend.
maybe.
You know, once we get a bigger studio, be like, hey, you have a place to stay. And you know,
True.
you can come back and visit, and we'll have you on for a Monday.
Yeah.
But
Find John in the chat.
it
Yes,
is-
I will be what I'm going to refer to as pulling a Weston from last week. I'll be in chat every chance I can get.
and he will
Rip
be
John.
he will
John's
be
dead.
moderating.
So
And
you're,
John's
you're
spirit is in chat.
Yes.
so you're going to die and be going through the phase of resurrection.
Yes. I will be digitizing myself and putting myself on the internet. So
Very nice.
I like it. So yeah, that is super super sad for
Yes.
sure. But yeah, we're gonna have to find someone to fill in that fourth chair, dude.
man,
I have a couple ideas.
We have many.
you have
There's plenty of ideas. here.
I have an idea of some of the people you guys have lined up, and I'm
I
really
think we'll have a
excited for
rotating
it.
a rotating
I'm
cast.
thinking
for
for sure
sure.
Trevor and Chris are two that
Yep.
we gotta get. But anyways, that's super sad, but we are running super short on time, so we probably should end it here.
Yep.
We still got a couple more weeks with you,
Yes, I'll be here
so-
till the 14th.
so we are definitely going to be, taking advantage of those last few weeks.
For sure.
And we are going to make sure that you have the best of topics, and if you don't, then we're going to make you leave early. So you don't have a choice. But guys, thank you so much for hanging out and watching. It's been super fun. Every single Monday night, 7 p.m. Central Time at twitch.tv/Huge Media Studios, or upload 5 days a week over at youtube.com/Huge Media. We're going to split this show up every single day and upload every topic Monday through Thursday, full show Friday. So make sure you tune in and watch every single one of those. This last week was the only week that we didn't have anything going up on YouTube, but that's starting now. I guess part 1 of last week's episode is up now. So thanks for hanging out. Thanks for watching. And we'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Adios.
Au revoir.